Okay, so I came back in. We're going to see if I can do Q&A on this live. We were just talking about weekends. I am Corinne Crabtree from fitandfat.com. If you want to check out my website, it's PHIT-NPHAT.com. I have a free course on weight loss over there. So if you have any questions about weight loss or whatever, you can feel free to ask them here, or you can go over there and take the free course, which will help you get started with all the easy little things. And I see some of my girls are coming back in. I'm really hoping it works this time. I think Facebook is having connectivity issues. We checked our stuff here and we're running on extremely high connection right now. All right, so Eve, you're still good. For some reason, some people are doing really good. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask them here. Today, though, I am getting, good morning, Jenny. I'm getting ready to do 2 podcasts. The first one is going to be on, we're going to talk about excuses. And the second one, I think, I can't remember what the second one was. I tell you what, I can redo the Saturday talk if you guys want me to. Let me know if you want me to just redo it, because I think the other one blew goats because so many people couldn't like get in, and I was a little distracted and trying to figure out what was going on and stuff. So just, if you want me to redo it, hit the like button a couple times or the heart or whatever, and I can go back over in general what I was talking about. If you do want to listen to the podcast, the first 4 are out, and I'm stinking excited about it. It is, just go to Apple, and is it the iTunes store? All right, the iTunes store, and search for Losing 100, and you'll see the teal blue Losing 100 Pounds with Fit and Fat. Anyway, it's a dream of mine to do it. My clients all started listening to it yesterday. I haven't really done like a big announcement or anything. This is the public announcement of it, but anyway, we're just excited as all get out over it. So, all right, so I'm going to talk again about how to do Saturdays. We're going to I'll delete the old one off, and then we will do questions and answers at the end. So the first thing, the very first thing is to make sure that here's the reason why weekends are hard for most people, is that we diet through the week in a way that doesn't work for us. So we put in a lot of restrictive things. We willpower our way through it. We expect ourselves to somehow just white knuckle and eat the shit we don't like. We create a week of essential misery. So Monday, it works because we're highly motivated. We want to lose weight and all that kind of good stuff. By Wednesday, we're starting to look forward to the weekend. We're starting to already lay down the groundwork of how we're going to live a little on the weekend, right? All the small thoughts start coming in, can't wait for the weekend. I'm gonna have a cheat meal. I'm gonna, go have me some joy food. Whatever's going on, we start that anticipation giddy shit on Wednesday. By Friday, we're miserable over the stuff we did all week long, but all the things that we didn't do, our brains are sitting there really thinking about I said no to all this stuff, and we kind of look at our week as if somebody did something to us, rather than I made so many healthy choices this week. Really owning it and being proud of ourselves over it. But what we do is we gloss over the idea that we're proud of it and stuff. We go straight into victim mode, I had to give up all that stuff I love, and thank God the weekend's here. Now I get to live a little. And then that's where the stinker thoughts come in. They sound good, and they convince us to overeat. So it's the things like, you did so good all week. Look at all the stuff you gave up. You lost weight. You deserve a little bit. We start going into all those things. I call those the lethal sabotagey thoughts. And all of us have them. And the difference between somebody who gets sabotaged by them and the person who doesn't is awareness. So you've got the person who says those things running in the background of their brain, right? And then they end up just overeating. Whatever you think about is what's going to happen. So if you think all week long you were good and you deserve a break, guess what? You are absolutely going to do that for the weekend. You're going to talk yourself into it. It's just like hanging out with the wrong crowd. You hang out with the wrong crowd long enough, and boom, you're smoking and you're drinking, right? The same thing is like you have a crowd of thoughts back there. It's like the kids that smoke and drink. They're all back in there like chatting it up about how we deserve to eat. And, you know, it doesn't matter that we were healthy all week. Oh, that's bullshit. Let's eat. So you want to make sure that you are like very aware of what you say. Now, if you're one of my clients, you know I make you write stuff down all the time. Like, did you TDL that? Did you do a thought download? Did you write this down? You know, what were you thinking and all that junk? The reason why I drill it like a drill sergeant into them is that when they are writing all that stuff down, it gets it out of here where the kids who were smoking and drinking in the background are no longer hanging out, and it puts it on paper. I was reading in a book called Time Warrior, and it talks about that. When you take your thoughts out of your brain, the emotional steam comes right out with it. When it comes to the paper, it starts to become like a factual thing where you can look at it without emotion and be like, okay, I get why I'm sabotaging myself because I think these things. The key here, guys, especially my girls, if you're in PNP Tribe, this is where I want you to like really own it, is that through writing that stuff down, you are now aware of what you say. And when you are aware of what you say, you will hear it loud and clear. And then that gives you the opportunity to pause and choose to think something else. So like a good example is when you are, let's say, you think, I've been so good this week, I deserve a little break. You get to say, you know what? I'm choosing to believe that I ate very healthy this week and I'm going to eat for success this weekend. You just change the conversation. You do not have to get pissed you have those thoughts. You do not have to sit there and think, I'm so fucked up in the head. Why do I think these things? All of that's a waste of your time and energy. That right there is being the victim of your own thoughts. You want to be the controller. You want to be the person who's like, I am not a victim. I choose what I do. Like, nobody's a victim of their brain, y'all. And don't even sit there and act like that happens. You get to decide. So that's why I tell my girls, like, you know, have all the, like, I don't care if you wake up every day and you think I'm fat. Just say like, that gets me nowhere ever. What will get me somewhere is choosing a different thought. Today, what I'm choosing is I'm not going to choose to think I'm fat. I'm going to choose to think I'm in it to win it today. Like, I'm going to figure out a way today to do something better than I did yesterday and move on. Just move on. And I'm going to promise you, if you're anything like me after like a lifetime of obesity, when it comes to saying terrible things about your body or convincing yourself to eat or whatever, you're probably going to have to pause like 30 to 100 times a day. In the beginning, it feels mentally exhausting. I swear I coach my clients on this all the time. It's like, when is it going to be easier? When is it going to be easier? The only time it gets easier is when you've practiced it enough to where your brain's decided that's what we want to think now. We're not going to think 20 to 30 years worth of shit that we've been saying to ourselves. That's what happened with me. And I still, like, guys, I lost my weight 12 years ago. I still wake up with crappy thoughts every day. I still say, you know what? Like, I don't want my day to be about that. Here's what I want my day to be about. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this because I'm choosing to create my day. You just need to do it and quit telling yourself that you can't or whatever. So how does that apply to the weekends? So here's the thing. Make sure that whatever you're doing through the week, that you're owning that you're choosing to do it to begin with. If you want to do something super strict, don't act like it's because it's a burden on you. Just accept the fact, I chose to do that. Doesn't mean that I get a big donut reward on the weekend because I chose to show up for myself. But my suggestion is you choose diets and ways to lose weight in ways that work for you and not ways that you feel like you have to just work like a demon at. If you want help, go to my website. It's fitandfat.com, or you can go to P as in Paul, N as in no, P as in Paul, 411.com. Take the free course. It's 4 videos, and it talks about, basically it's going to teach you how to quit quitting diets, but it helps you initially set up a plan that you will do. And I'm all about like small steps and figuring out that first. And a lot of people lose weight just on my free plan. So seriously, I would take the free plan. I get emails every day about that thing. So, and you can also do the podcast. The podcast is starting to layer in exactly what you need to think about and to do to lose weight. You can go to the iTunes store and just type in losing 100 and you'll see losing 100 with pounds by Fit and Fat. Those are the things I would start with because it's all about your mindset. So on the weekends, what you need to do is like go in on Friday with what do you want out of your weekend? Do you want to end it in a stupor of food, which is what a lot of us do? Or do you want to end it feeling like, you know what? I was able to have some of the food I like in a controlled way, not feeling like I had to just throw it all out the window or that I was having a setback, and I want to feel good at the end of the weekend. So I have my girls plan. They always plan their weekends. They make sure that they've thought ahead of time. And here's the thing, like sometimes people will tell me when they eat like their treat food on the weekend, they feel very guilty around it. And I'm like, you do not need to feel guilty if you're deciding ahead of time what you're going to have. It's all part of your plan to lose weight, all of it. So that should release the guilt. If you're still having guilt, it's because somehow, somewhere in you, you're saying, well, you know, I probably shouldn't be having that. And it's like, no, anything that makes the plan is absolutely what you can have. And you just need to tell yourself like, no, it's on my plan and this is what I'm doing. I thought ahead about this. I also have my girls visualize, like if they're going out to eat in places like that, one of the things I tell them to do is to make sure they, when the food is brought, to take another pause. Don't just dive in head first. Take a look and decide in that moment how much you're going to eat and when you're going to stop eating, and then take like a 5-minute break. And just sit there and enjoy what's going on around you. If you want more, then you can have it. But the beauty of that is what people tell me is I get caught up in being distracted and being in the moment, and I'm not paying attention. Next thing I know, I overate. And it's like, yeah, well, take a pause. And this allows you to practice not only figuring out if you're still hungry, but it also allows you to experience it without the food. You get to take in what actually is going on and it not just be like a I forgot and overate moment. So those are a couple things. I also, Sunday is always food prep day in PNP Tribe. I'm hopefully going to the grocery store this afternoon after recording podcasts. And the other thing is I like to exercise on the weekends. I give myself the gift of health on the weekends. I love doing my workouts on the weekends. And what I was saying earlier is I want you to make sure that when you work out on the weekends that you watch out for this thought. Well, I got that workout in, so now I can have a little extra wine, or now I can have a little extra this or whatever. Workouts do not buy you anything. Workouts are what you do for you, for your sanity, for your body, for your health. They are not a bargaining chip to get to eat more food. Your body will tell you what it needs. Honor your body in every way. In here, in your belly, everywhere. Okay? If y'all have some questions, I'm going to answer them now. That was my quickie dooey on the weekend stuff. Thank you, Jody. I just had my hair done yesterday. I mean, it is straight dope purple. I don't know if y'all can tell, but the under where it's shaved, we put a darker purple. But anyway, it's a little bit, ooh, I messed that side. I love purple. I keep waiting for the perfect time to commit, but I need to get my poop in a group. Get my poop in a group. Just finished making sweet potato hash and going boxing. That's awesome, Amy. And there is no perfect time. The perfect time is always right now. I mean, life's never going to be perfect. I tell people all the time, I lost the last bit of my weight while I was staying overnight with my grandmother. And I also finished my first half marathon where I actually ran. While my grandmother was dying of cancer. And I would stay the night with her every day from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. And I had a 2.5-year-old during that time. And just like, I didn't use it as an excuse to not be able to do life. I didn't use it as an excuse not to be able to do me. I was just like, this is life. Life happens. And food somehow is not going to make any of that better. I'm going to honor my grieving period. I'm not going to sit there and eat through it. I think a lot of us think we can't do things when life is happening. It's like, no, that's exactly when you double down and you get into it. You start telling yourself, I don't need the perfect time to be able to not eat hamburgers. I mean, that's what we keep thinking. Like, oh, I got so much going on. Somebody's dying. I better eat a hamburger. And that is exactly what we do. We take these weird circumstances of life. My kid broke his leg. I better get a payday bar. I mean, that is what we do. And that is ridiculous. But we convince ourselves that that is normal. And it's like, no, that's not normal. If your kid breaks their leg or somebody's dying, it should be like, this is the time I feel things. This is when I show up for my kid. This is when I, have the last moments with my loved one. Not the first thought is, I better eat something. I always go off on that stuff, y'all. Today we are having a family lunch for my daughter's birthday. It was her choice of restaurants, and there are no healthy choices there. There's always a healthy choice, Billy. Do not tell yourself that. And I'm fixing to tell you how. I'm choosing to eat before and not order anything there, but maybe an iced tea, so not worth the heartburn and indigestion and feeling like hell for the rest of the day and blowing my good week. All right, Billy, you did fine. So that was what I was going to say. We always want, here's the thing I would scratch from that. Rather than saying, my daughter picked a restaurant where there's no healthy choices, say my daughter picked a restaurant and I'm going to do this because I want to feel good after and I want to enjoy the experience. Just get out of your brain that you're somehow and you actually made the right choice, but we want to make choices through a place of because I thought positively first. That's what carries over long term. There is never a time that you have to think, or you choose to think when you eat, that you had no choices. Unless you're being held down and somebody's jamming it in your mouth, then you always have a choice. Always. You can always eat just enough to feel satisfied and not full. That's a healthy choice. You always can make modifications. You can always choose to eat beforehand. There's just always think about how you're in your power and not how a restaurant has taken your power away. Nobody ever takes your power away, guys. It's the biggest lie that we all tell ourselves. You have to choose to decide that you are always in control. I tell this story all the time. It's like when moms will say, well, my kid got sick and I couldn't work out. And it's like, no, you chose to not work out. It's not because your kid was sick. You decided, and this is how I think about it. If my kid is sick, and that actually happened on Monday. My kid was throwing up everywhere on Monday morning, so I didn't work out. And I didn't sit there going, oh, look at that. I can't work out because Logan's throwing up. I just said, you know what? Today, I choose to show up and be a mom. That workout can wait till tomorrow. It's not a big deal. But what happens is we make these things a big deal. We blame it on the circumstances of our life, and then we feel out of control. And when you feel out of control, then you feel like you can't even make choices for yourself anymore. Always just feel, you know what? I showed up as a mom on Monday. Then that doesn't make me feel panicky that somehow I'm a bad dieter or a bad exerciser. And that's what you always have to think about. Always. Let's see. I think there was one other question somewhere up here. I truly feel like I need to give up refined sugar, but wonder if it's too big of a change, or should I just do it and get past it? Amy, it just depends. That's one of those things that you can do. You're one of my girls. Aren't you in the tribe, Amy? Will you please respond? I'm almost 100% sure you are. If you're not, then I have actually different advice for you. Depends on if you're on the inside or not. If you're on the inside, what I want you to do is I want you to post that and tag Coach Jane, who does all of our work around anybody who needs to or wants to give up sugar and flour. So she will help you with that. So just post in our Facebook group and tag her. Or if you have a journal where if you've got one of the PNP Forum journals, you're already writing down like what you eat and all that kind of stuff, tag her in there, let her look at it. You can tag her. You can also tag Coach Betsy. Both of them are really good at looking at the sugar and flour stuff. If you're not in my tribe, my advice would be, honestly, just give it up and go cold turkey. I think sugar and flour is one of the things you can't like half-ass give up. If you're wanting to do it, just take the hit and get it done. Otherwise, and it's going to feel kind of crappy for 2 to 3 weeks. So you have to be, you got to know. This is the thing about sugar and flour, guys. When you decide to give that up, not all of my people do that. We have some that do for health reasons and stuff. We have some that are binge eaters and things like that, where they need to, because they have like the chemical dependence and stuff. So we have groups that work on that. We have coaches that work on that. Some do not. Some, like, we include all the foods and stuff. The thing about it is, when you take away those foods, your emotional shit is going to come up along with it. So one of the benefits of being in the tribe is when you're doing it, you get your thoughts worked on too. That's going to be it's hard enough to just do it just because your body has to detox some of it. But all the little things of like, a little won't hurt, and this is so restrictive, and all those thoughts that come up, we work on those things, because that to me is the hardest part of all of it, is changing that conversation in a way that gets you over the hump and gets you to the part where you feel like amazeballs. Somebody said I'm walking all over their toes. Okay, so let me go back to the bottom. Amy, you have to quit waiting for the perfect time. How do you eat on, I'll talk about that in this. How do you eat on vacation? I eat the same as I do at home, to be honest. I just think of, like, when you go on vacation, you kind of treat it like a weekend. Like, I don't think of vacation as a free-for-all, for one. I actually have a video on this Facebook page. It's all about vacations. If you go to, I tell you what you can do. So go to pnp411.com. That's P as in Paul, N as in no, P as in Paul, 411.com. Search vacations. I think I actually have a category called Travel Thin. Oh, I do. There's a category called Travel Thin. It'll be on the right-hand sidebar. There are blogs and videos on what I advise people to do on vacation. But it's all about thinking ahead. It's all about still eating until you're satisfied. Like I tell people, like, if it's freaking breakfast, you don't need croissants and shit. Like, just eat a healthy breakfast. Like, if you're at a hotel that gives a free breakfast, do not eat their muffins and crap. They're just junk. Just eat some eggs or something. Pick and choose your times when you want to have your treats. Like, I'm going to be traveling all summer. I'm going to the beach for a week. I'm going to my mom's beach at a resort for 3 or 4 days. I'm going to Vegas, I think 4 times. I travel through the summer for fun. Like, we don't travel through the year. I work. And then in the summer, we go. And I do not gain weight. I might gain 2 to 3 pounds or something, but I just make sure I'm thinking ahead about things. I'm listening to my body. I work out when I'm traveling. I never stop working out. I just do my healthy life. I feel like when you set up your weight loss, that you have to set it up in a way that works with your life, including your vacations, including your holidays, your birthday, your weekends. All of that is part of life. There's no perfect time. So many people will tell me, but I'm fixing on vacation. I don't know if I should join your group. And I'm like, that is the exact time I would join. Like, what if you went on vacation and you didn't just overeat the whole time? Wouldn't you feel amazing? Wouldn't you like to be able to reach out to our personal little Google? My girls, like, seriously, will say, they'll have a question and they'll come to our Facebook group first and be like, don't go to Google, go to PNP Tribe. Ask them, they know. For eating out, the Calorie King app is great. It has lots of restaurants on it, so you can plan what you're going to eat when you get there. Most restaurants will also let you order kids' meals. You can order kids' meals. I mainly, like, a lot of times I just split stuff. Like, I will tell my husband, I don't want a whole lot. Do you want to just split something? And a lot of times he'll do it. Sometimes he won't. Just depends. There's all kinds of modifications you can make. Your logic surrounding weight loss is life-changing. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Heidi. You're one of my girls. Kathy, my wife is a skinny mini. She eats 24/7. It's so hard to be committed to lose weight. It's not hard. And she can eat all she wants. It has nothing to do with you. Kathy, you have to quit telling yourself that how she eats and her body somehow makes it hard for you. It doesn't. That is your thought. And let me just tell you, Kathy, every time you want to think it, you have to say like, no, I choose to think that's hard. Just start. The first step before you can even change it is just own the fact that you are choosing to make your dieting hard because you're watching someone else rather than watching what you're doing. Eyes on your own paper. She could sit next to you and eat hot fudge sundaes day in and day out. My husband eats hamburgers like a fucking religion. He works for a major fast food fried seafood chain. And he brings that home for our kids sometimes. I have donkey shit around me all the time, and I never once do I ever think anymore like, well, that makes it hard for me. If I even allowed myself to choose those thoughts, guess what? I would start gaining weight. You cannot think like that. So my challenge for you, Kathy, is to just call yourself on your own bullshit and say like, you know what? My wife gets to eat anything she wants. And if I want to choose to think it makes it hard for me, I just need to own that I'm choosing that thought. And when I'm tired of it being hard, I'll choose a new one. And I would start there. Amy, I really feel, we talked about the refined sugar. Do I just take the time to do it or start with smaller? It just depends, Amy. If you're not, I don't think you are in my tribe. I think you said that. I would probably just go cold turkey. Well, I mean, you can do either one. Do my free program and do small wins. Either one. Hey, Sonia, we've all been praying for your daddy. You did good good. I was thinking about you last night, by the way. Sheila, thank you. Let's see. Oh my God, now is perfect. When circumstances are challenging now, I cowgirl up and dig in even more. Our choices are always within our control. Boo! That was good. Cowgirl up. I like that, Cherry. Maribel, what exactly is your lifestyle or way of eating? Paleo? None of that shit, Maribel. I am not paleo. I don't even know what berry is. The hell? What is berry? Somebody's can probably, is that bariatric surgery? I bet that's it. No. So I just started with small changes. I do a lot of mental work with my clients. We start listening to our body. We eat fuel foods. We do have joy food. We do, if you go to P as in Paul, N as in No, P as in Paul tribe.com, take a look there. That gives you a really good idea of what I teach in terms of eating. Some of my girls do no sugar, no flour, but we're not low carb or anything like that. I've got vegetarians. I got girls that do it all, but we teach more the mental mindset behind losing weight, not just like a certain plan. I don't think there's anything wrong. Like we've had a couple girls that do Whole30, that kind of stuff. I think there's nothing wrong with a lot of those diets. The main thing is getting under control how you think about what you're doing and that it's a choice. And I'm all about taking women who feel like they've been a victim of their weight all their life and turning it into, now you're in control. You're in control of the food. You're in control of how you think. You're in control of your body. And let's do this. And that's what I really preach and teach. So if you go over there, there's also a video where I talk about the different lessons and stuff like that. But you can get like more about that stuff over there. I'm the groupie, hoping to get in for Mother's Day. Amy, I hope you can get in. So we open June 1st, Amy. But it's going to be good. The last round, like Heidi, a lot of the girls on here they were all part of our last round, and they're just amazing. I'm so stinking proud of our tribe. I just can't even tell you. The vibe inside right now is so good. I'm watching them support each other. You know, like when I'm teaching, I can feel the energy through the phone these days, y'all. I'm not joking. And then like the team of coaches, we talk way more than we need to every week, and we talk about like all the things we're wanting to do, and like we're having to like constrain ourselves back to not just blow you out with stuff, but it's like we're just loving everything right now. Thank you, Joan. I love my hair too. D, I'm a huge picker during the day, but can sit down for a nice dinner. What are good picky foods? Well, Dee, I don't teach that. So what I teach is if you're picking at food, you're not eating for your body. It's called grab-assing. And so here's the concept. You're married, you're committed to a man, but you really like a hot Latino. And every time you see one on the street, you have to just go over and pinch some ass. I don't think your husband would like it. So if you're committed to losing weight and you're committed to your body, you don't grab ass on food. Grabbing some ass when you're not truly hungry, there's no food you can just pick at, because what happens is you're creating a habit of eating when your body doesn't need food. So you just need to work on the habit of picking and not trying to figure out like, well, you know, I've been a smoker all my life, so now I'm only going to smoke like 3 a day. That should do it, right? It's like you either going to smoke or you're not. You're either going to be married to your husband or not. So you have to kind of decide those things. Thank you, Jennifer. Jolene. Hey, Jolene. I swear to God, I think of Dolly Parton every time you post. When we're in the tribe, every time I'm just like, I kind of wish you would post today so that I can at least think of Dolly Parton for a moment. I've given all that up, been back and forth through the years with deprivation. Now I just do what you teach. Every week I get closer to what I want to change. I do small commitments because in the past, balls to the wall had me clinging to the wall and fell off. I've never heard of it. Balls to the wall has me clinging to the wall. That's awesome. I just love you, Jolene. She's also really cool when we do Zooms. She has a baby that runs around and we mute in and out and stuff. It's cool. We got people splitting plates. Tammy, when is the next enrollment? It's June 1st. So you'll need to be on the wait list. If you go to pnptribe.com, get on the wait list, y'all. Wait list, first of all, here's the benefits of being on the wait list. Well, there's a big benefit coming up soon. So anybody who's on the wait list for PNP Tribe is going to win a free entry into PNP if you leave a review for my podcast. So I'm going to put up a form where you can put your name and your email and whatever your name was that you gave in iTunes. So if you review the podcast and you enter, I'm going to pick somebody and they're going to get a free entry into the tribe just from the wait list, not from all the other stuff. And then for my tribe members, you don't even know this yet. I'll announce this on the inside, but I have a really good thing coming out tomorrow for reviews. I don't know if it's today or tomorrow. Basically, well, I'll just say this. You're going to win a month of coaching with Coach Kathy. But I haven't decided how many I'm giving away yet. So I'm working on that with the CFO back there who's now in the gym working out. We're coming up with how many we're going to do. So, but for you guys, and even if you've already left the review, girls, it's fine. Once I get the, I just got to get the form where you can enter your name and your email up. But you guys will get you'll get Coach Kathy as my gift. And then if you are on the waiting list, you will, it's $249 to join. So that's a really good value. I was like, but I'm only going to do that for the wait list. Everybody else, they're just going to have to just love the podcast, and that's the gift of the podcast. But for my wait list, I know my wait listers they tend to be the people who are really wanting to get into the tribe. And I only open so many times a year now. And this next opening will only be 5 days. We're actually dropping down the amount of days that we are going to open. We have a really good fit of numbers that we will take and all that kind of good stuff. So just things are good these days, y'all. Just so good. All right. You joined to lose weight, but this program and the people in it will change your life. Thank you, Miss Robin. Any tips on kicking sugar habits? Well, I think my biggest tip is probably going to be if you're going to do it, you have to just do it. Don't sit there and think you can have a little bit. I would definitely not have any sugar or flour. I think you should just do both. You can just do sugar if you want, but definitely sugar and flour tends to be a really good. I mean, if you're going to detox one time. That's my thought. Don't try to detox twice. But I would just do it, and I would not have it. If you're going to plan to have a treat every now and then, none the first 30 days. Give your body the gift of getting the stuff out. Give your mind the gift of just not even having to think about it. and just be like, no, we don't think about that. Like, that's probably my biggest tip is while you're doing it, if you eat a lot of sugar and flour, it's going to be hard. Like, I barely eat any. So when I took it out, it was easy. When I added it back in, I barely added anything back in. So the biggest tip I have is like, every time your brain wants to start saying, oh, we should have a little, or this is hard, or whatever, you just be like, we don't think about it anymore. Think about something else, honey. You can think about your thighs if you want to, but you are not thinking about sugar and you are not thinking about flour. And that's what I do. It's like whenever I make a decision and I commit to something, the hardest part is the mental arguments and the mental exhaustion behind it. It is all of the chatter that will go on in your head about how hard this is and how unfair, and why can't I be like Kathy's wife and eat anything I want, and blah, 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 blah. It is all about saying, you know what? I don't want that. You know what I want? I want to feel good today. So I'm going to only, like, whenever that stuff comes up, the exhausting thoughts, I'm just done. I'm not thinking about it. Erin. Hey, Erin. Today I'm doing a recommitment ceremony for myself with no BS. Oh, good. I started PNP Tribe in late January and I have lost 11 pounds. Lately, I've been noticing I've been going off plan and thinking I could do things in my head. It's the truth. We always think that we can solve this shit in our head. And here's why we can't. All right. In your head is like, what am I going to say next on this live? Oh, look, there's a squirrel jumping around on that tree. I've got all these things to do today. My run is coming up. So-and-so is a bitch, whatever. My job sucks. All of that is in your head along with your to-do lists and just like your life. All of that plus I'm trying to figure out how to coach myself through my mental drama so that I can be my healthy best. Like, it doesn't even stand a chance in there, y'all. All that other shit is going to kick it all over the place. So you got to get it on paper. I am committing to daily journals and a minimum baseline exercise. I think we're doing an exercise challenge this week too. And you can put your minimum baseline in there to hold you accountable. I think we're doing a week-long one in the tribe. I have been consistent with prep and planning. Now I need to stick to the plan. By the way, you were preaching this morning, Corinne, and rocking that purple hair. Thank you. I'm loving this purple hair. I'm just telling you. Last night we went to dinner. Before I even sat down, 5 people stopped me to say like, oh, I love your hair. PNP is all about empowering your thoughts and owning your weight loss. Thank you, Miss Heidi and Sonia. Suzanne, I got all my girls in here. Badass Tribe. And Sonia's down 8 pounds. Good job. How do you get the free program? I need help. Shelby, you just go to P as in Paul, N as in no, P as in Paul, 411.com. My free course is at the top. It's a banana yellow button. Like, seriously, you have to be Ray Charles to miss it. I mean, it is right there. Just sign up and then you'll get the free course. You'll get the first video immediately. And then in your inbox, you should get a replay of that video plus a workbook that will take you through the next 3 videos. Woohoo. I do Whole30. Yeah, Jennifer's a Whole30 girl and she's in our tribe. Rami, hello, this is my first time here. I've seen your other videos and love feeling like you're talking straight to me. Makes it feel personal having a friend right here with me encouraging me and calling out my bullshit. Yeah. You should get on the podcast too then, because if you like this, now you can take me around in your car. So the podcast, you go to iTunes, and I have it on the it's on my Facebook page right now too, I think. But if you go to iTunes and search Losing 100, you'll find me. It's Losing 100 Pounds with Fit and Fat. And if you do the free course and you get on my mailing list, anytime I do a podcast, I also blog. I do transcripts for every podcast. And if there's any show notes or links or anything like that, all of that will go into the blog. You will get those in your inbox. So you'll know when I've podcasted and you will get all the information. So I think it's just valuable at least to get the show notes. I put a lot of work into those. Like, I want to make sure that people have like a little bonus content from me of like what I thought about, like after I did it, well, what did I think about? What else should I have said? And then the other thing is I always put the transcripts. I know me, like when I listen to podcasts, somebody will say something and I'm like, I want to read that because I want to highlight it and I want to write about it or something. So I'm having all of mine transcripted so that anybody who wants to read them and not necessarily listen to them, they have that opportunity. Love your hair. Blow us out. We can't get enough B&B tribe. Y'all are funny. We definitely have a lot of stuff coming. You know, we did the women's retreat last month, and the fall one is coming up. But we recorded the women's retreat in April, and the videographer is working on all of that now. So we will be releasing those as lessons for all the girls in the tribe. So even if you didn't get to come to camp and you didn't get to come to a retreat, you'll still have access to the information and stuff. What do you think about protein shakes? Rosa, I think they're fine. I drink a protein, like I had one yesterday. I don't make a living off of them or a habit off of them, but I do, I lift a lot, and sometimes, like yesterday I was going to get a haircut and obviously a new color, and I had 20 minutes and it was protein shake day. Like I had some protein shake with some fruit, and I just was able to get out the door, and it was super convenient. I just don't make them a mainstay of my diet. I like to chew my food. I have always enjoyed the process of eating, so I do that. I also, personally, I do Shakeology. I like it because it has the nutrients in it. It's got probiotics, prebiotics. You know, I just think keeping this gut healthy is key to the game. Nobody likes to be constipated, trust me. And I don't like to be constipated either. Let's see. Honestly, I don't have that problem. In fact, my period started this morning, and I've got the opposite problem. Me again. Hey, Dee. Another question. When starting at the gym, is it better to start with just cardio or weights? Weights every time. Now, here's the deal. I think it's best to start with weights. I wish I had started with weights, but I was not in the mental space to do it. Literally, back in the day, it started with walking. I didn't know how to do anything else, and at that time, I wasn't as mentally strong as I am now, so I started with where I was at. So I started with just walking. But if I could change anything, and I honestly, I say this, if I could change, if I could rewrite the story, then the story would have been, I would have started with weights because of loose skin issues. But I don't feel bad about it because it has allowed me to teach people where I would start. It has allowed me to, and when I started lifting weights, I fell in love with them. I mean, I just did. So in fact, today is the bane of my existence. So I have a Tough Mudder coming up in a few weeks. It's not even a few weeks anymore. It's less than a month. And I'm running today so I can make sure that I can cover 10 miles. And the second this Tough Mudder is over, my ass is going back to just lifting all the time. I'm actually doing a powerlifting competition this fall. I've never done one, and I'm going to figure out how to do it. I'm going to train by myself. I'm going to show up with some of my other PNP girls that have never done one. Or we're just all like, hey, we got one girl that does them. Let's all meet up in Iowa and do one together. I mean, but that's how we roll. We never stop and think why we shouldn't do things. We always think, you know what? Why not me? Why shouldn't I do it? Let me just try this. I mean, the worst that's to happen is I'm going to wear a onesie and look ridiculous. And if that's the worst thing that can happen, it's not so bad. I look ridiculous half the time anyway. Good. Let's see. Holy crap. So can't wait. I hope I can win this with Coach Kathy. What brand of hey, Jolene again. What brand of full fat dressing do you use? So Jolene, I use Trader Joe's Green Goddess. I also I buy those Dole salad bags. So we get the barbecue ranch one is my favorite, to be honest. I love that one. And I love blue cheese. And those are the dressings I typically use. I don't really use a brand. What I do is whatever's in those Dole salad bags is what I end up using. Because we only buy 10 of those a week. There's a lot of dressing. Wendy. Hey, Wendy. So do you teach what to eat? I only know low carb. Oh, I wish Trina was on here, y'all. I've been successful with it, but I can't see me doing it forever. When I get off of it, I gain so much. I seriously thought it was the only way, but you're saying you don't do low carb. That's awesome. I want to learn how to lose without low carb. I would love to still be able to eat fruit. So, oh gosh, I'm so stiff, y'all. I'm stretching, sorry. Wendy, I have a girl that joined up in the tribe, I want to say it was February. And we've been working with her on breaking what I call the low carb addiction. You guys do not have to do low carb to lose weight. You just don't. But Wendy, you have to layer the carbs back in. What we teach is how to honor your body. We teach, it's called the hunger scale. And without going into too much detail, it's where you eat at what your body needs for fuel. So we're not eating to full, and we're not getting hangry and starving and stuff like that. And then we work on what foods feel good in your body and do well in your body. So that's kind of like the essence of it. And then we, on the other side, work on all the emotional eating, all of the, like, you know, the things around food that usually, where we think it makes us eat it, all that shit. So like with you, we would do some work on your fear of adding carbs back in. And that is what I've worked on with Trina now from, I want to say we've been working on it since February. Now, when you add carbs back in, you are going to gain a little weight in the beginning, but just, it's a little. Don't buy into the idea that you're going to be gaining like 20 pounds and stuff. People who gain like 20 pounds are the ones who go back to eating the shit. But adding in some fruit and sweet potatoes, that's what we did with Trina. We added in slowly, and it makes all the difference in the world. But during that time, you've got to get some help on the fear of it. The fear is what will shut you down and what will make things horrible for you. And that is the component that diet industry does not spend time on. And they don't want to, because it's not a sexy sell to tell people, hey, we're going to work through your fears. You know, dieting's going to be a little hard, and we're going to do a lot of mental work. Like, people are like, that's bullshit. I just want my results. And they will sell you results all day long. And they will sell you plans and say, here, just eat this. But they won't work with you on what it's going to take to actually implement it, to do it when your dad's in the hospital, to do it when your grandmother's dying, to do it when you're on vacation. They don't take all of that shit into consideration. Just like Kathy's wife. They don't teach you how to be able to sit with someone who can eat whatever they want and decide, you know, that has nothing to do with me. What they do is they say, just do your plan. Why aren't you doing your plan? And they like browbeat you to death over it. And we don't do that. We work on what's going on. Why are you not on your plan? And let's figure that out so we can get you empowered so that you can move forward. I hope that helps. And I've got like weird lighting issues, you guys. Jolene, I so want to go to fall camp, but that baby you mentioned has me scheduled out. It's on my list to do when the time is right. Jolene, I know I'll at least do the spring one next year too. I mean, we do one every year. This is the first year we've done two, so I'm sure that baby one day will get to where you can come to this camp. Rochelle, Lord, that's been me. So great. Now, not so much. But once in tribe, you never lose all your skills. I haven't gained, but checked out for a minute. Rochelle, put your ass back in. I know you have been though. I think I saw you posting yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. So, but yeah, you know, and I tell you guys this all the time. You are one post away from being right back on plan. You are one post away from being right back in the tribe. You're one post away from getting the help you deserve and that you need. So many of you get so anxious about reaching out for help, and I work with you guys on this all the time. You need to be able to reach out for help. If Tiger Woods can have a fucking golf coach, I know every one of you could use one of us. That's why there's 6 of us working with you guys. If you tag us, we will come. If you post, the tribe will be there. You do not have to sit back in the corner and think you are alone. You never are. If you are choosing to think you are alone, you need to say, like, you know what? I'm sitting here and I'm choosing to make losing weight harder right now because I'm choosing to think I'm all alone. You never are. Somebody in that tribe has your story and is either overcome it or ready to support you because she's in it too and she wants help and she's so glad you posted so she can come out too. Jacqueline, I'm struggling with eating too little to binge eating. Jacqueline, I know you're in the tribe. I want you to post this and I want you to tag Coach Jane. Let her help you. She's actually, and she can point you into some of the videos that she's done on the tribe around like urges and binging and stuff like that. Like you're in restrict binge mode right now. We got to get you in the middle. So I want you to go in there and I want you to tag, and seriously, you better. I want you to, and if she doesn't, y'all, one of you post for her and tag her ass and Coach Jane. Don't let her fall through the cracks. We want to get you out of that cycle, and she can post up some of the videos that she's done where it talks about urges and blah, 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 blah. And Jacqueline, have you even started the No BS 2? All of No BS 2 are like the second step of the weight loss program. It's all about overeating. So you go, like, if you're new to the tribe, when you first join, guys, you're going to go through No BS 1, which is the basics. It's the no bullshit weight loss program is what it's called. You're going to go through No BS 1, which is going to give you the foundations and the basics of how to eat, and like what we're going to separate out. What is your physical hunger versus where's all your emotional eating? We get all that done first. Then we go through and then we tackle the emotional eating stuff in the next step. So then Jacqueline, I want you to get into No BS 2 and listen to some of those videos, and I want you posting. And if you're in the forums, tag Jane there and TDL. And everybody's saying, hey, Coach Jane is one of those girls. Stacy, this woman is changing people's lives. Get on that wait list. The women in the tribe are like family. It will change everything, not just weight loss. I know it's so hard to describe. I swear to God, we are a tribe. Even with over 100 pounds to lose, would you still start with weights? Yes, Nancy. Is it dumb to think my fat will turn to muscle? No, it's not dumb to think. It's just a thought, but that's not what happens. Fat doesn't turn into muscle. They are two completely different things, and you will never be able to lift it. I lift all the time trying to get bigger, and like it is almost impossible for women to get bigger without drugs and steroids. So Nancy, I want you to go, I know you're in the tribe, I want you to go to PNP Tribe Resources. Go down, it's towards the bottom is where all the exercise plans are. I want you to just start with the beginner. There's the beginner basic band workout. Start there, and then I think the next workout after that is the one. Click on the two beginner ones. One of them has a video of me. I want you to watch it and see if that's where you want to start. If not, then go back to the band one. There's not a video, but it's the basic exercises and stuff. I want you to look at that, and if you need help, one of us will shoot you a video of those exercises and post it in the tribe. Betty, yes, I get to watch a live doing a recommit this weekend, working on stopping the overwhelm. Whoop! And you know, Betty, on Wednesday, Coach Jane is doing her whole overwhelm talk for the tribe. So the Facebook Live on Wednesday is a special. It's going to be like a 20 to 30 minute class on how do you stop overwhelm, the feeling of overwhelm, because it's a ball buster. Jacqueline, it is time to ask for help, and somebody's going to tag your ass. Aloha. I have been reviewing all your old posts and making small changes, water, sleep, hunger scale, journaling, etc., and I am down 6 pounds. You are changing lives and empowering so many. So thankful I found your program. Hello, groupie. Make sure you get on the podcast, too. The podcast's so good, y'all. I'm just loving it, and we're getting, well, I'm going to have to get my ass running here pretty soon. How do you figure out what our struggles are with food? Dottie, we start with you writing down your food and what you think about what you eat. So like, let's say you're eating when you're not hungry, and you're like, every day I come home, it's like the 5 o'clock letdown. I've had a big day, my commute and all this other stuff. I find myself eating chips in the pantry. We have you write about, okay, so, well, tell us, why do you need to eat chips at 5 o'clock? What's going on? Like, what do you, like, was it a good day? Was it a bad day? You know, tell us about it. You write about it. And then we find exactly your shit around food. That is all it takes. That's it. It's very easy to figure out every person's stuff around food when they start writing it down. And here's why, Dottie. When you're writing it down, it's all the facts of your life. Like, well, my boss is a douche. And, you know, traffic is just terrible where I'm at, blah, 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 blah. You'll have a lot of stuff that you will think is like, well, these are the facts of my life. See, I don't give a shit about that stuff. Like, I don't know your boss. So him being a douche is not a fact. That's your thought. And I start pointing out to you where you're putting all of this extra pressure on yourself through the day. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, wow. Okay, so if you start changing that, you don't need to calm down with chips anymore. We also work on the habits of those things. Chips become a habit at 5 o'clock, and we start pointing out the food habits, and we start putting in new habits and stuff. So it's a lot of work like that. Kelly, How do you handle food prep when you are gone all weekend away from home? I feel like I will be totally unprepared on Monday. Well, you will be totally unprepared on Monday if you think you will be. Or you could definitely think of it this way. I will be gone all weekend, and on Monday, I'll be in control because I'm going to choose what I'm going to eat on Monday. And I will do smaller food preps through the week. I will figure out a way to make sure that I'm still eating healthy. When you turn your brain around to looking at it as not a problem, but a project to attack, versus this is going to be a problem, it's going to be terrible for me. I don't have my food prep and I'm going to be blah. Yeah, that will be a cop blocker. But if you think about it, it's like, okay, so this is a good experiment for me to go to the store and try to figure out the little things that I can do that are super fast. And then all of a sudden, as you're walking through the store, things that you normally don't look at pop up. Like, oh, I could just grab a rotisserie chicken and debone that mother, and then I've got chicken for the week. I can grab salad bags, and then I've got chicken salads. I can grab, if you want to do wraps or something, you can do that. All the little things start popping up. Like my husband, you can grab cottage cheese. Hard-boiled eggs are already done. You can get, you could just do salads for a couple days until you can cook. There's all kinds of things you can do. But it doesn't become apparent until you start thinking that it's a possibility versus an impossibility. Robin, can you post some example workouts for weight loss? I don't want to bulk up. You're not gonna, y'all, I am deadlifting right now 135 pounds and I'm not bulking up at all. You guys are not going to bulk up. Please quit thinking that. It is such a lie. I don't even know why people think that. I don't want to bulk up, but I do not want to hold back on my workouts too much either. Robin, go to YouTube and search for Fitness Blender. That's what I would look at. That's what I tell people to go to all the time. That is the best place to get some free workouts. I don't really post workouts anymore. I only keep those in for my tribe members, and it wouldn't be fair for them for me to share them with you guys since they pay to be in there. But Fitness Blender on YouTube, awesome videos. They have everything too, like from cardio, stretching, weights, upper body, lower body, just arms, just leg, whatever you want, they've got it. And one of my tribe members, she actually is a friend of those people. And we found that out not too long ago. Angela, is there anything I can do to stop stress eating? I would honestly, that's just yeah, there are things you can do. You just don't do it. Stress has nothing to do with you eating. Figuring out what else could you do when you're stressed. Go to my blog. I tell you what, go to my blog, and so it's on pnp411.com. Search for Think Yourself Thin. Or that's a category, but you also could search, see if I've got anything in there on stress. I'm sure I've got videos or blogs on stress or habit eating. A lot of times stress is habit eating too, guys. But I would start with that and see if you can find something really good on that. Let's see. Some of you are signing up for the free course, which is awesome. Kelly, I'm away and we'll get home Sunday night. Monday morning, I will be shopping. There you go, Julie. Oh, Julie. Hi. I didn't even see your name. These people that live with me, family, don't get it. They want to have different food than me. So hard. Again, Sheila, go back to the beginning of this video where I talked to somebody who has a skinny mini. My family eats different. It's your thought. You're choosing to think it's hard. Why do that? Guys, I want y'all to hear this. When you're losing weight, sitting around and choosing to think, this is hard because they eat different. This is hard because my friends like this. I want you to say, I choose to eat what I want because I want to feel my best. Think about that. Quit playing that sad old victim mentality story over and over in your head that drives you to not get the results you want. Always remember, you got to think about the stuff that's going to get you where you want to go. Do not waste your time in stinking thinking land that only gets you further away from your goals. And that's what happens. What somebody else eats has not one fucking thing to do with what you put in your mouth. Not one thing. Until you decide that it makes it hard. You could jump out of that camera right now with cheeseburgers, nachos, and a cake and eat next to me, and I could still teach this live because I don't find that hard. And it's not because I am me. It is because I don't think about it like that anymore. I decided I don't think about stuff like that anymore. It doesn't work. So why do it? Do what does work. What does work is thinking about all the ways that you can be successful. Thinking about how you can choose to think anything you want about stuff. So you have the power to choose. Choose wisely, friends. Debone that mother. Jada, are there any women that have thyroid issues that are in your tribe and making weight loss guns? Oh yeah. We have, and thyroid tends to be a big conversation. We have several that have, we have some that don't even have a thyroid. Let's see, Kim Cook is not on here, but we have a lot that have Hashimoto's. We got a lot of menopausal women, all kinds, losing weight just fine. It's a lot of like, there is some monkeying that has to go around. Like you have to be really dedicated to what you're going to choose to eat and choose to think about. And one of them is choosing to think that you're in control, that you're going to work with the thyroid and that the thyroid's not working against you. That's a huge mind shift. We all want to blame stuff for why we don't lose weight. Like, let me just blame something, because when I blame something, then I don't have to take responsibility over the shit I eat. Because it's that person's fault. It's that disease's fault. It's my age's fault. It's everything's fault. Today I'm on my period. That must mean I'm going to eat junk. No. When we drop that crap, guys, it makes it so much easier. So much easier. What kind of water do you drink? Did I see where you add something to yours? Yeah, I put Extend. I don't have any with me right now. I put Extend. It's Xtend. If you go to the top of my Facebook page, there's a pinned post. You can go to my Amazon store. It will show you exactly the water link that I drink. I also drink Pellegrino out of the big green bottles. It's just fizzy water, but it's plain. And I also just drink plain spring water. But those are the things that I drink. I feel like I only got the first video from your first course. Marianne, will you send me an email? It's at Corinne, CORINNE, at fitandfat, PHIT-N-PHAT.com. Send me an email and tell me that, and then I can send. Sometimes what happens is if you've been following me, I've been doing this for 10 years. So if you've been following me for a long time, if you're on the list, then the mail thing that sends that stuff out will not resend it thinking you've already gotten it, even if you haven't. So you can just send it to me, and then I can like push it through and make sure that you get it. And I'll send you all of the emails. Lori, I'm new. Where do I start? You go to P as in Paul, N as in no, P as in Paul, 411.com. There's a free course. Start with that. It's got 4 videos and a workbook, and that will help you. It will get you to learn about commitment, how to make a plan, and how to review your plan by the end of the week. Do you ever use it? Oh, Cody, yes. An Instapot. Thinking about getting one new to your blogs. I love the Instapot. I use that mother every week. We make baked potatoes in that thing. I make hard-boiled eggs. Meat is divine in the Instapot, and it's so freaking quick. That is what I love. So, but yes, I use one. I would get one. I hands down think the Instapot is one of the best inventions like that ever happened for a kitchen. Can someone type her email for me correctly? I'll spell it for you one more time just in case. CORINNE at PHIT-N-PHAT.com. And that's my email address. Melissa, sometimes my emails from you go to trash folder. That may be her issue with the videos. Yeah, and Melissa, what you can do is I think you can go, depends on what your email server is. There's some whitelist instructions I have on my website now, but basically you're going to go in and like when I send one and you find it in trash, click on it and say, like approve sender or something like that. And and that'll take it from going to the trash all the time. Okay, guys, I'm going to get off here. So if I don't start running, then my co-host for the podcast will be here and she'll be like, let's go. And I'm like, I didn't work out. So the new podcast launched. I would love to have you listening. Go to iTunes and search for Losing 100 Pounds with Fit and Fat. And just so excited. The first 4 episodes came out. The new ones will always be coming out on Fridays. Food Rules Part 2 is what's coming up this coming Friday. And then somebody asked, do you cook separate meals for your family? How long did it take them to adjust? I do cook separate meals for all 3 of us eat differently. And I just cook different things. And nobody had to adjust to anything. If I eat what I want, I think they should be able to eat what they want. I shouldn't have to tell them what to eat. It's not my place to tell people what to eat. Unless you pay me to. And trust me, my husband and my son don't pay me to tell them what to eat. I provide a lot of healthy food for them. I also give them the choice. They get 1 choice a week. Mama's going to the store on Sunday. What do you want? Tell me what you want, because this is what we're getting. And then I also just keep some healthy stuff around the house. And my son and my husband tend to eat some of that stuff too. So we just have a little bit of everything. PNP411.com. That's where you're going to go to get the free course. And if you want to get on the wait list, do not forget, we open June 1st for clients for 5 days, and then we will be closed again until August or September. I haven't decided on if we're going to open in August or September of this year. It's going to depend on my travel. You can go to pnptribe.com, find out all the program information. You can get on the wait list, and wait list people get a few extra little goodies too along the way. So guys, have a wonderful, wonderful Saturday. I hope you got a lot out of this, and I will see you next week. Bye, y'all.